This is going to be the sixth part of my series on the best small wheel bikes you can buy. And this one is going to be about scooters. I'm not talking about scooters that are foldable or you can just stand on them. I have a separate video for those. Check it out. Also, all of my videos and all of this information is now on YouTube in the public domain. I have moved everything from Patreon onto YouTube. So feel free to access all of that information. If you are new to this channel, to my knowledge, is the only one dedicated just for small wheel bikes, scooters, and whatever runs on small wheels. So it's kind of a unique approach to looking at biking and vehicles in general. If this is something that interests you, you may want to subscribe. The more subscriptions I get, the faster this knowledge is going to reach the people. In a previous installation in this same series, I covered the mini motos, which are the first step up from an e-bike or a stand-up electric scooter if you want to go faster, if you want to go farther on a single charge. However, not everybody wants to learn how to shift gears. Not everybody wants to embrace combustion engines for the next 10 years or however long they are going to be around. And another way to step up from the e-bike is to get an electric scooter that you can actually sit on, something that can be charged from public places, and something that is weather protected, clean, electric. In other words, a worthy counterpart to the mini moto. In the first model I'm going to review in this video is what is commonly called the fat tire scooter or Bigfoot scooter, or also golf scooters. If you go to your favorite search engine and you search for any of these labels, fat tire scooter, golf scooter, a whole bunch of models are going to come up. Unfortunately, at least 90% of them are cheap, typically Chinese manufactured garbage that are not going to last longer than a year or two, and it's going to be a lousy experience even during those first couple of years. Nevertheless, there are a number of really classy, high quality manufacturers that are cranking out this same design, which I think is a really stylish, classic design. In fact, the first time I came across this scooter was when I was riding my electric Brompton on the bike lane on 3rd Avenue in Manhattan, and I noticed that somebody way behind me was getting on the bike lane with what seemed like a Harley Davidson, because these scooters have a high handlebar and you sit low. It looks very similar to a Harley if you look at it from far away. And I pulled to the side of the bike lane and looked back at this thing, just being fearful that maybe I was going to run over or something. And when the guy got close to me, that was when I realized that this was not a Harley, something a good deal smaller than a Harley. It has small 8-inch wheels that are really, really wide, and there is a specific tire that fits. There are a few tires, but not a lot of variety because this is a very unique sizing. There's an urban tire that's very smooth, and there are some knobby tires as well. But in any case, so it's a similar formula to a classic Harley design, but it is a very, very simple scooter design overall. The scooter really consists of nothing but a frame, a fork, a couple of wheels with tires, and a simple brake assembly with a seat. That means this translates into a very easy to maintain, very rugged, long-lasting design, and also something that's easy to tune. If you want to replace the controller, if you want to remove the speed limit, it's really not a difficult thing to do. The design is extremely versatile. This is the only scooter I know with a seat permanently attached that is spacious enough to allow you to stand up just in case you want to see something or you're getting tired sitting, or even if you want to have a passenger sit on the seat behind you as you're standing for short trips. This is amazing flexibility and not something I have seen from other designs. The scooter comes in a 3-wheel version. You can attach everything from skateboard to golf sets to luggage. People have attached all kinds of things to expand the scooter, and there is a passenger seat also available from most manufacturers. Some of the designs have suspension, some of them have no suspension, but in any case, the massive tires should be enough to make the ride pretty comfortable almost on any terrain. You can use it in a city for commuting, but you can take it to the beach, you can take it on the sand. Because of the extreme width of the tire, this can handle snow, sand, mud, whatever. You can go off-road with it. It's really easy. One of the few quality sources for the scooter design is SCUSA. There are others as well. As you can see, the prices are accordingly. The starting price is $3,500 as of 2022, but I'm sure once you get all the upgrades you want, it's going to be more like $4,000 or even $5,000. As you can see, all of their prefab scooters are out of stock right now. But really the way to get this scooter is to talk to the people and to get a custom setup. That's how you can get the custom color or metal plating or passenger seat, whatever you want. SCUSA offers some really nice custom paint jobs and extras that you can put on the scooter. As far as my Brompton is concerned, I bought the Brompton with the most expensive metal plating. It has a nickel-plated frame, every extra you can imagine. I recommend that you get the best that you can afford, and treat it really well. If you baby it, it should last a lifetime. Here are some other scooters, and you can see that some of the people can stand up. You can sit down or stand up. This is just an amazing design and a really smooth, nice, classical look. On the legal front, I think if you go slowly, most of these scooters would be tolerated on the bike path, the greenway, in the park, on the bridge. You can probably get on any ferry and not pay a fee. It will probably be treated like a mobility device or a bicycle. But there are also high-speed varieties. Some models come with speeds as high as 40 miles an hour. So this is also not really registerable, but you can sort of, depending upon the area, depending upon the laws and how tolerant the cops are, you might be able to get away keeping up with traffic on the main road. Just saying. So enormous variability depending on what the configuration is and who you're buying your scooter from. The next step up, if you have more money and you want something that can comfortably seat 2 people and can be registered, can get on main roads, on bridges and tunnels and so on, is the electric Vespa. That's the small-bodied Vespa, the exact same thing as the gasoline version, except that it is electrified. Obviously, the Vespa Elettrica is going to cost more than the gasoline version, but if you take a realistic look at this, a gasoline 150cc Vespa is going to be close to $6,000. So paying about $7,500 for the electric just means that the fuel savings is going to level out in about 2 years. So you pay more upfront, but within 2 years the cost of buying this thing and operating it is not going to be any more than having an electric version with a 150cc engine. And after 2 or 3 years, you are just going to add up the savings. So in reality, even though it costs more to buy an electric Vespa, it's actually a lot cheaper to have it. If you look at it, you're looking at a 7 to 10 year ownership period. And let's not forget, all Vespas have excellent resale value, so a lot of people can ride this for a lifetime, or they can just sell it for almost as much as they paid for it and go to the next model. The specs are still marginal on this scooter. You are only getting a limited range, not too bad, but it's only going to go around the city in an urban area, maybe into the suburbs, and not really enough for interstate commuting. Same thing with the speed. 30 miles an hour is fine in the city. It's fine on back roads, but this is not something you would want to get on the highway with. In fact, it's not even legal. An interesting side of this is that you don't have to register it in all jurisdictions. In New York State and in Connecticut, this would be legal. Up to 30 miles an hour, you can go anywhere where a bicycle can go with an unregistered electric ride, so long that you have a driver license or a motorcycle license on you. And New York State does not care how powerful your ride is. A small electric is legal unregistered on any road not marked above 30 miles an hour. So you need to check your area to see if it qualifies. You may not need to register it. As far as getting on the bike path, forget it. This is not gonna be welcomed on any greenways or inside parks. This is definitely perceived as a motorized vehicle, even though it's very small, and there are many electric bikes, including my Brompton, that can go as fast as this can go. Overall, I think this is a nice package. If you're comfortable with the shorter range, it's a great Vespa styling, the same thing that you get from their gasoline versions. The only beef I have with this design is that they did not include a public charger, something that would allow you to charge your Vespa anywhere on the go. That would be so important. I have visited some of these chargers and they are all over the New York area. I mean, I could ride from New York up to Canada and would be able to recharge anytime I needed. These chargers give you free electricity. I believe the first hour of charging is for free, but you need to have a plug that fits, and this Vespa does not have this plug. You can only charge it at home pretty much the same way as you're charging your electric bike. So that is one problem I have with it. I think it's still a decent package for $7,000 or $8,000, but it's not ready for prime time. That's what I think. The one scooter that is more or less ready for prime time is the BMW CE. This is the second electric scooter BMW has put on the market, and it's definitely not cheap. The sticker is somewhere around $11,000, but you're probably not going to get out under $14,000. So this is about twice as expensive as a Vespa, but it has the power. It has a 100-mile range, speed lock to 75 miles an hour. It is capable of getting on the highway. It can totally handle everything you need to do in and around the city. Not only that, but it has a professional public charger. You can charge it absolutely anywhere. So it's kind of expensive, but if you think of how much usage you can crank out of this, you're not going to have much of any maintenance issues. It's going to be just tires and brake pads, and that's about it. You can charge it up in public. I could ride this from New York City to Long Island to the beaches straight up, or I could do some charging and go up to Canada. So it's really a very powerful package, and the only one of its kind. Really stylish, very racy, very modern, typical BMW. BMW did have a previous model, an electric maxi scooter designed along the lines of their 600 model. This scooter actually I really liked. Look at the seat. It has this cushioned seat, 2 levels so that the passenger can see over your shoulders, a big protective windshield. It really has everything that you would expect from a maxi scooter, except that it was electric. For some reason, maybe maxi scooters don't sell as well. The whole thing was scraped from the US market, and even the gasoline version is now gone. And what I don't like about the new one is first of all, the seat has no cushion. It's not multi-level, so it's really kind of a nasty way to sit for a passenger. I know the idea is that it's not going to be for long rides anyway, but I really would have preferred more comfort. And also there is really no front windshield. Instead of a comfortable protective big windshield, you're getting this teeny tiny orange piece of glass that's good for nothing. So there is this discomfort element. BMW claims that they are doing this because you're only going to use this scooter for short rides and you don't need comfort. Frankly, I need comfort even if it's just a 20-minute ride, so I disagree. Frankly, this seat looks and feels like an ironing board, and if I want to sit on an ironing board, I can get one for 20 bucks. I don't need to pay $14,000 for one, even if it has a heated option. Believe it or not, this bike has heated seats and grips, which is what is expected from a BMW. I mean, other than my objection against the seat and the non-existent or miniature little windshield, overall this is a great scooter. It's very fast. The acceleration is great. It has a long wheelbase, which I really like. That would come in handy in urban environment. And if you look at the price, they have people paying $10,000-$11,000 for a gasoline 400cc BMW. For that kind of money, I'd rather pay $2,000-$3,000 more and get something that's going to last forever, has no maintenance, has no noise, accelerates like crazy. So overall, I think this is a sound argument for what you're getting. You are getting a really classy scooter, and frankly a scooter that has no rival on the current market. There is simply nobody on this market right now, at least not in the US. Maybe in other markets, but really not at the classy level, not at the level of this bike. And of course you can ask yourself, why not buy an electric motorcycle for $14,000-$15,000? Well, there is the scooter convenience, the weather protection, your legs are protected from the wind, all the heated elements in it. So it's really designed for almost like a year-round use and a lot of practical usability, which a motorcycle is not always able to live up to, even the new electric motorcycles. This is all I will say about the BMW electric scooter. BMW, the ultimate spending machine, and also about the rest of the electrics that I do recommend. I do want to say a few words about an e-scooter that I do not include in this list, but I do want to give it honorable mention. It's not really a top-of-the-line exotic design or something that would have a sky-high resale value, something you would want to ride for the rest of your life. It's not a collector's quality bike. It's not a handmade top-notch rig either, but it is decent. And the model I'm talking about is anything that the Taiwanese manufacturer NIU or NIU, I don't know how to pronounce it, make. These are actually quite rugged scooters, much better quality than mainland Chinese product. They cost about $4,000, so for the maximum size you're gonna pay about half the price of a Vespa, and it's gonna match the parameters of that Vespa. So I think this is really a killer price proposition. Any of the scooters you choose from them is going to be good for something. The smaller ones can get on the bike path, the bigger ones can be registered and put on the highway, and you get decent reliability. Maybe it's not going to last as long as a Vespa or a BMW. It's not as easy to maintain or repair as the Golf scooter I reviewed in the beginning, but it is a rational choice for somebody who cannot afford a Vespa or a BMW and needs something electric to commute with or get around town with. So I do recommend that you take a look, even though it's not included. It's just an honorable mention. This is it for this video. It turned out to be a bit longer than I anticipated. I hope you end up subscribing. I have a ton of videos coming on small wheels, and I hope that the more people subscribe, the more the word gets out.